Welcome everyone. Welcome Sami. Thank you very much for being here for another session on the Metacircle and our workshops with different members, trying to explain their vertical expertise, their product, what they're doing, their views on different market aspects, etc. And today it's the gaming, which is a really a fascinating industry, especially for the use of NFTs and the importance of ownership for gamers, but we'll talk about it afterwards. Maybe Sami, you can start off by introducing yourself, who you are, what you've done, and yeah, up until across the ages, if that's fine with you.
Thank you. Super excited to be here with you today. So my name is Sami. I'm 37. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Cross the Ages. I come from the gaming industry. So I spent 11 years of my life, dedicated, to the gaming, producer of game, multiple game that you can find on Pixel Art. Like we release more than 60 video game with 7 different studios. So we are owner of studio in Japan, in Hungary, in Thailand, in Brazil, in France, in England also. And we release a game, on Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox, Steam, and Android. Platformer, racer, fight, adventure, like all these kind of different game. I start my journey in Cross the Ages in 2020 when we was in COVID time. So for me, like the blockchain was a revolution, and like the multiple aspects, seeing like the NFT coming and like how the NFT will have like a value in the future was completely insane for me. And I didn't see like an NFT like an image or like a GIF, but like something pretty complex and like something deep with a different layer. And then we explore like this adventure of Cross the Ages. So about like the project, we are today 180 on the team. 80 people are working here in south of France in Marseille. 100 are international artists. They're working on commission. So they're not like here with us, but they're working and they created the graphic design and the graphic Bible for the universe. We have 7 writers involved on the project, 14 with the copywriters, but 7, are working very deeply on the storyline. So you have Arnaud Dolène, the main writers. You have Alain Damasio, Pablo Servigne, Norbert Merjanian. Sorry, I take my French accent for that. But those writers are what I believe the best writer on science fiction and fantasy. And yeah, have them, for the 10 year as the artist sign, for this universe is completely insane because the topic about Cross the Ages is based on a universe, an IP. It's a 360 experience, something like completely deep to cross different universes. It's why the name is Cross the Ages. Imagine that you have a universe based, on IP. You will have you have a book. So the first book and second book made 700,000 downloads, translated in 6 languages. In a few months, it's going to be 8 languages. You have a comics. You have a movie coming. You have like a whole universe and different game using exactly the same technology. So the same NFT for a TCG first, because this is the best use case, and then an MMO, and then a MOBA. So like a really great universe based, on the storyline of Cross the Ages.
It's crazy. It's a whole ecosystem. Like you're not just doing a video game on one platform or whatever. And so that's quite crazy, and especially the shift between your traditional, career business that you had done with Web2 games, etc. This shift to Web3. Why at first doing a whole ecosystem, not just a game, not just something more focused, I'll say, I don't know, a mobile game or a platform game or whatever on Web3. Why did you at first say, okay, let's build something huge in Web3 right on the spot after?
So when we start, we took time, to check like the different project, and what we've seen is on the Web3, everything is about a cycle. You know, as a cycle you have, you know, on the money and like on the altcoin or whatever, you know, this is like a cycle. So every project is here like for 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, and then, you know, it's finished. And like it's always like that, you know, people are playing to play to earn. And just the wording of play to earn is already a problem. It's not a game, it's a job. It's a thing that you don't have any kind of fun, or you're here, you flip your money, and when you know you made your reveal of your collection of NFT, you sell it, and that's it. Very few project was able, you know, to get and to keep, you know, something sustainable. And I really believe that cross the ages or not, if you don't have a real story behind you, a real IP, what's going to happen for us will be exactly the same than the others. And you know what we made is like we took the time to create something very solid and something on the real sense. If for example you take the example of Pokemon, or you take the example of Yu-Gi-Oh, they created the story before to create it, like the rest. Everything it's coming after is like a foundation of a house. Cross the Ages is like the book is a foundation, you know, the story, the graphic Bible, like, and also everything made behind the universe is like the foundation. And then when we start like the experience, I say, you know, on my first EMA, I say to everyone that whatever what's going to happen on the market, bull or bear, it's not going to affect the game of Cross the Ages. And like many people record that. And this is exactly what's happening now. When you create a game, so you're not focusing like for the Web3, or you created a game, you know, accessible for everyone in Web2, scalable for the Web3 experience. This is a cross that we believe an hybrid model. It's going to be like one of the best model in the future, where everyone can be able, you know, to have his own experience. That means it's a free to play. You can enjoy. It's a play and earn, and not a play to earn. So if you want to go deeper and like be owner of your asset, you can do it. If not, you can do it. And like you have in your hand every kind of possibility, and you don't have to pay any kind of thing. You don't have to get any kind of token or whatever, you know. If you don't care about that, you can do it, you know. So this is like the main focus of Cross the Ages, and why, you know, we build it like that, and why we created, you know, an IP behind it.
So could you come back like on the dates of each of the release, so like the books and the roadmap, basically, so that, because it's such a rich ecosystem that maybe for everyone and myself I get lost in everything.
No, indeed, you're absolutely right. You know, so we start. I met, you know, I was with my co-founder in August 2020. This is when, you know, the first discussion start, and then we start to work with the writers in November 2020. When the writers, you know, start, you know, to work. Those was like the first people to work on the project. After that, in February and March, we start to have like the first card design, you know, by the artist, and we get 6 different artists. Then in June 2021, we made our first live. That it wasn't for fundraising or something like that. We go to an event called Agora in Dubai, and it was my first time when I talked to the people. So just, you know, to see like how, you know, I will be able, you know, to talk about the project, and then we start the fundraising exactly 1 week after the release of the book. So the release of the book was made the 28th October 2021. And the release started the 9 November 2021. So it was in London on the token 2049. I was invited by Sébastien Borger. And on this night, you know, I think we raised like 30% of everything, you know, and like everything starts in one
so
night.
the fundraising was in NFTs, token, equity?
Only token.
Okay.
Only token, no equity. And then we raised 12 billion in less than 1 month, like a 3 week and a half. It was pretty impressive. So 68 VC on board, like more than almost 300 interview, you know, and 300 meeting. So we take the time, you know, to pick the good one. We get like maybe 110 people on the waiting list. Wasn't able to say yes to everyone. Everyone was telling me like, this is a bull market, take more. I say, no. I will take exactly what I need to be sure that it's going to be solid and sustainable. Today we have like a cap table pretty amazing, you know, with Animoca, Ubisoft, Square Enix, so many like Polygon, IMX, Fundamental
The
Lab,
right partners.
yeah, Amazon, so many people, involved on the project, so many great people, the founder of Axie Infinity, Sebastian Borget from Sandbox, like all these kind of people help us a lot, to doing well. And then, so this was like the timeline. So in November, and then, we start in February, the 13th February, 2022. We start like our first plane of communication with an Enigma, and that everything starts. So we start to reach like our community. We made an early access in November 2022. So this was for us the first step to start, the experience of the game. So week after week, the game evolved for the people with like new rules. The community was completely amazing because like they was here like playing to the game. We get more and more player until this month today, where we have like today 3 to 4K daily user, 24K per month. 36,000 people created their own account. So many people created the account to get like a free pack, and it didn't start the game. However, we are super happy because our goal is very simple. The 29 March, we're gonna start the GA. So the GA is not the worldwide release. It's like the general access where you can download the game on the mobile phone, on iOS, like without any kind of code. And then after that, when everything will be fixed, we're gonna do like the GR, the general release, like the worldwide release, where the game gonna be like pushed with promotion everywhere. So this is for us different phases to be sure that we're gonna be able, to onboard more and more people. The thing is, on the gaming side, created the TCG is one of the most complicated experience. Why? Because it's mathematics. So when you touch something, it's like change all the thing behind, and we take a position very not easy. Where we try to create our own game with a unique experience. So many people are telling me, oh yeah, but this game is very funny. If it's copy of Hearthstone or copy of like a game that Gwent or this kind of game, it's pretty easy to do it. You just have to copy and paste. We've seen so many copy of game, and I don't have any kind of problem with copy, but we take a very great risk when we start like the experience to create our own TCG game. However, what we have today is something where we have like a very good feedback about like the time of playing. We know that on average it's 1 hour and 2 minutes per player, so it's pretty high. We made more than 6 million match today. The last era, so the start like few days before, was like the biggest one in terms of people playing. About the timeline to finish, the 10th February, I'm pretty good, on the time, because I remember, like all the day. It was the launch of the marketplace on IMX. So made the first day 750,000, K volume, completely insane, much more than we was expecting. Today, we are on the top 3, of the collection since the beginning, and top 1, for the 18th first day. This is very interesting because like it's not a phenomenon where you have a 1 or 2 deal. You have between 500 to 800 deal per day, with more and more owner of NFT. So if you check the graphic, you will see like every day is growing and growing. So this is pretty good. At the same time, we was like the first in Gamify, on OpenSea and on the Polygon chain. So we was like good, very, very happy, because sometimes, we was like number 3, sometimes number 2, sometimes number 1. The phenomenon is something going higher and higher. Why? Because this is the first collection where, people, if you check, on OpenSea, they all made between X3 to X500 on the bear market. So why and how? people, mint some pack, on OpenSea. It was in June 2022. So we mint 8,100 pack. And, people buy, the price of the minting. So it was 100, 250, and 500. And some pack, 639, was free. That we give for the first people that they mint. The pack of 100 today is 350. The pack of 250 is around like 900, and like the pack, the last pack is around 1K, and the pack was free is around 5K today. So completely insane. It used to be like 20 bucks, and this is amazing because we have some real appetence, and like people need like those pack. Half of the pack, even more now, was burned to the game because people created their own account on it.
And those packs are not necessary to play the game, actually.
Yes, it is. Only the 639, it's like additional. However, the 17,500 pack was like a pack with a different card, different scarcity, and with a mint pass inside. The mint pass is something pretty specific. When I made my first video, I explained to the people that the price of the mint pass will be more than the price of the pack himself. So people say, okay, so you give me something more than everything. And this is a reality today. The mint pass is higher than the pack himself, about the price, the minting, when you used to have like the price. And this is very interesting because all your NFT are working on the several game. That means like this mint pass, you will have a special effect, on Cross the Ages, the TCG, but you will have also on the MMO multiple effect and on the MOBA multiple effect. All the people believe and trust, on the project from the beginning will get much more than they expect, and like this is how you can start and build the community with a believer, with the first people that they say, okay, we have no guarantee. You have absolutely no guarantee. I'm not here to sell nothing, on the project. However, the people come first are pretty happy today to being able, to get back their money and to get back the invest. Because the profile is a little bit different for the first, because it's player investor, and now we're looking to building a whole universe. For the TCG, for example, usually it takes at least 3 years to be sustainable. 3 years, to if you take the story of Hearthstone, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all these kind of game, it takes a long time to be here and like to be present. However, we're pretty happy of what we have today. Since we're still evolving, and like every week we're still improving the game. People on the assistance, and people on the community seen that we're working a lot to improve it, and yes, this is just the beginning of a huge story.
Because just to be sure to understand, so right now, so the trading card game is available for those who have a pack.
Yes.
And afterwards, what you mentioned with the general opening,
yes.
Exactly. So how does the free-to-play comes into play?
It's free to play. So how it works, you don't have to pay anything. We're giving some code, for people from the community to redeem a free pack and to get more and more people. So we made like partnership with many partners, to get more and more players. And now the idea is to scale up, and to open the game for the people to have like more and more feedback, from people playing to the game, how long they're gonna play to the game. We have something now that we believe gonna work. We're working a lot, on the tutorial, and like to onboard very easily a new player, because it's a TCG, and it's not always easy to understand when it's your first time. If I give you like a Magic the Gathering and say, okay, play to the game, say, come on, it's not possible. It's there are so many rules, and the way is just to have like the cross to help the people to onboard the game easily and to have fun. The majority of the feedback is pretty good, so we're super happy because the retention is very high. Many people are coming, and like for different reasons. Some are playing to the game because like they're looking to be competitors, so it's for fun, and this is very good because this is exactly the goal that we was looking for. Some is for the long term, and like they're pushing to get the treasure that you can get only when you play to the game. So the game is offering, you know, different possibility and different kind of experience.
Okay. And also one question, and then I shall not forget the other one, but how do you handle the fact that obviously when you sell pack of NFTs, you are addressing players, but also just guys that know that Cross the Ages is such a great product and etc. And so that will thrive and are just here to speculate. So you give accesses and assets of a game that won't be used by players at first, but will just be basically stocked by guys that want to speculate on it because they know that other players will eventually want to get onboarded.
So first, you know, when we start like the experience, we didn't, you know, created the way to mint multiple pack on the same wallet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, usually people say, okay, you can mint 5, 6 pack, whatever. It's the number of unique owner you can check now is 85%. Is super high, you know, on a collection. Yeah. We know that usually it's around 30 to 40, and like sometimes it's 20. More you have different owner, more it's important, you know, for the game. So this is the rule number one. Even now, when we have burn, because we used to be like around 90%, now we are 84% because we burn like a 10K pack. The thing very interesting is the way of how was built Cross the Ages is a different way. You have first an experience where your card is digital, and then you can transform your digital card on NFT if you want to transform it in NFT, and you can transform this card in NFT in physical card on NFC. So the company who made that is Cartamundi, is the same company who created Pokemon, who made Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Flesh and Blood, and DC. So they don't do like many game, and they are overbooked. However, you know, they created the card of Cross the Ages, so all the cards will be unique with a different number. And like this is the experience of how you cross, you know, the physical and the digital. And to answer to your question about like people, investor, and everything, since you know you can have only one pack, you know, on your account, many people, you know, say, okay, it's too boring, you know, I don't have the time, you know, to open my card. And then, you know, if they come, you know, they come after and they buy, you know, card, you know, on the marketplace. However, you know, we found like a different mechanic, you know, to give the possibility for a very high amount of player to enjoy the game and like to be completely, you know, how can I say that, free, you know, about the operation of what they want to do. And imagine that, you know, when we work, you know, when we used to work with Animoca brands, we spent 7 months exactly to create the token economic, to be sure that mathematically, whatever was gonna happen, we will protect, you know, the game. We will have a supply enough, you know, on NFT. We will don't do too much, just enough. For example, you know, if you check any kind of NFT, you will have a limit, you know, of NFT for every kind of scarcity. If you take, for example, the physical card, you can have like, everyone can have like a digital card. Sorry, not physical, but digital. Everyone can get a digital card. And for the NFT, it's limited. So when you get, you know, the maximum of supply, for example, you know, today for the Mythic, 45% of the supply is already, you know, gone. When you're going to be to 100%, you can't mint any kind of Mythic anymore. It's finished. Every collection is 6 months. So you have a rotation, you know, you have a new card coming every 6 months, and you can be able to buy cards for 1 year. After the year, the card is not buyable anymore, and you can't mint those kind of cards. For example, you know, if you don't mint it, it's finished. So when you wait with the time, it's why, you know, I tell you about the 3 year, you know, if you wait a little bit, you will see like already now, you know, the price is going up, you know, for the exclusive cards. When you're gonna wait, you know, more and more time, more you wait, more you will have player, more you will have people will come for different reasons, for investor, for trading, for playing and everything. More, you know, the price will go up unless you will have card, you know, for the community.
Yeah. No, it's quite clear in this sense. I'd like to go back a little on before CTA, understanding why this switch so early also, because early 2020, obviously for those in the ecosystem, I mean, ownership NFTs were starting, but I mean, it really, I think, blew up obviously in November 2021 and around that time. So what made you switch to Web3? What value did you see at once, saying, okay, we need to generate value for players in this sense, using this technology and etc. Why
So,
did it basically?
first, honestly, today, with my company, we made enough money to myself to don't work anymore for all my life. And in my life, in my perspective, I say, like, when I will have like 35, I will stop to work. I give like all my time, to work, and like for me, like I'm gonna stop all my activity and like just focus on things that I want to do. My passion, my passion is the card gaming. Since I'm a kid, since I'm 9, I start to collect the magic card Pokemon. For the small story, I sold the 6 box of Pokemon in 2020 since the COVID, and I sell it for 2 million that I put on Cross the Ages. So the first investor on Cross the Ages is myself. So I put my own money on the project to say, okay, I will do it, whatever was gonna happen, So, and then when I start, to dig on the ecosystem, I found like a multiple possibility, so much possibility. However, a lot of people come, with the intention to generate cash and generate quickly money. So today, when you talk with Web2 people, you check like the article, you say, what a shame, when you seen like the article, like this morning was an article about like Square Enix talking about the NFT, and like there was trash talking about that. And like it's very sad, because like the reputation of the Web3 and the NFT is super bad, and like the people on the Web2 are not ready to, and you have like so many people are fighting about that. I was thinking, on this time before that everything happened, that if I want to go like very deep on my project, we need like to use the blockchain. And the NFT combined to the blockchain was a game changer. The thing is, you can't come and can't start, and starting with a MMO or a MOBA about like the amount of the project first, and also, about the utility. If you check like the utility on the TCG, people can have like today we have a player, we sold like more than 5 million cards. So, people have like 5K, 6K, it's not a problem. But if you say to someone, okay, I will give you NFT and you will play, to an MMO, how many NFT you will get? It makes no sense. So if you do the opposite and you created a game where people will have the card and they can use it, on other game and not have to pay any kind of thing, you can create a rental system. You can create, a proposition, with value. And this was exactly, the idea and the goal from the beginning. Created the whole ecosystem with different game and like with a different timeline. So first we created a TCG, like we created a game while people will use the NFT. You created like the part of renting. You created the part with the competition. You created the part like with the esport where people will play and like they will enjoy. We gonna give it back, a part of our revenue and give it, for the community on the competition. So we will pay for that and giving 1 million for this year and even more, for the next year. And then, you created a real system, real structure. Today, if you take FIFA, for example, and you take FUT, FUT is like the main resource and the main way, to generate revenue for FIFA and not the game himself. If you have the number in your hand, you will be very surprised about like how much FUT is generated, instead the game himself. The thing is, the people are not owner, of their own assets, and this is a shame, So who am I, to say to the people, okay, you just have to pay and that's it, it's mine. It makes no sense. If you give back, the ownership for the people, and they give them the possibility, to sell it or not, keep it, rent it, whatever, this is their own card, in a wallet, non-custodial, and this is what I believe was like the first detonation for us and say, okay, this is like completely insane. If people understand that what we want to do, it will match and it will fit.
No, it's really interesting, and you mentioned it really right at the really beginning of the session. Is Web3 games as of today are meant for the earning aspect, only for the earning aspect. It's literally a pain to play it because you're just here to get the rewards. Like you mentioned, the wording play to earn is horrible. and basically it should be just play to play. and then on the side, maybe if you have a sustainable ecosystem, and that's really the real challenge here, obviously, is not doing a tokenomics that is super inflationary, that doesn't make any sense, where just people just want to accumulate and sell, and the counterpart to that is just fun. So you need a fun gameplay, you need to have fun, you need to have a use inside the game. Go ahead.
The thing, and you have completely right, you know, if, for example, you created a game where you're giving token for the people, and like you link your token, you know, to the game, like that, okay, just like that. If it's bear market, you know, and like you will have like a deflation, and like you will lose, you know, the value of your token, you will destroy all your game. And we've seen it in so many projects. And I don't believe that this is going to be something working on the long term. Imagine that today, you know, our score is like even more than we was expecting from the beginning. Imagine in bull. If it's like that in beer, what's going to be in bull? So you have to create the game working in any kind of situation, and to be sure that you don't care. That means you created a game where people will enjoy and they will play, and you will have lover. People will come, you know, for the story behind and like for the book, and some other will come just, you know, for the game himself. Everyone will come for different reasons. But when you created an ecosystem, whatever what's going to happen, people will still hear. Take Harry Potter, you know, the last game. Did you play to the last game of Harry Potter?
Yeah, I did. It's quite insane.
Yeah, this is it. It's finished. 1 billion revenue. It's like it's completely insane. But why? Why? It's so it's a new studio. Not a lot of people know them, and it's an IP. So the power of an IP is infinite, infinite. And when you create it and you build your own IP, and you created it's a game changer. And Cross the Ages will be a game changer on the book. The story is not a story to be like, okay, I make a story, it's funny. It's not funny. It's something so deep. And when you know, like those kind of people, you know, those writers, they are so successful. They don't need me. However, you know, they need the project because the message behind it is so deep. And like people understand it, say, oh, wow, the story is pretty insane. And this is why, you know, we get like a very high and good name, like already contact us, you know, to make like the TV show. And we say, okay, not for now, for sure, it's planned, but we're still waiting, you know, to have more and more reader and like to develop more and more, you know, the universe. But yes, for sure, this is exactly the plan from the beginning. Before to be on the gaming industry, I spent 7 years on the audiovisual sector. So this was like the 18th year I made production of movie and production of gaming. So this was the thing that I really love, and this was my passion. So passion on the movie, passion on the gaming, passion on the card gaming. This is like the combo, the best combo for me.
Yeah, it's really interesting what you mentioned around the power of the IP and what it brings really to the users, because in a Harry Potter game is exactly the epitome of that. Is that the story is so deep. People that read the books, and for instance, I have friends, especially my girlfriend, is crazy about the books. She's never played a video game in her life, never ever. But the video game is so well also linked to the books, to the history of the families, etc. That basically myself, I was playing, and she was, you know, next door, etc. And I was like, hey, you know this name, and she says, yeah, it's the same family that is actually linked to here. She got interested, and I say, hey, try to play it. This is how it works, etc. And she had never played a video game in her life, but she was brought out for the IP, for the story, and it's the right way. I mean, that's crazy. And I see friends that are buying platforms like PS5 just to get the Harry Potter game, and they never had ever played a single video game, or just, you know, at friends.
You get it. This is exactly the point. This is exactly the point. So, for example, you know, how, you know, you can put it, you know, on the TCG, it's gonna be superficial. So you can't go deeper. We're gonna create it, you know, a mod, you know, so a story mod, you know, to create it like something deeper and created a link, you know, between the TCG and the story. But it's not easy. Since you're playing to the TCG, it's not easy for you to create the story behind, since you're playing to the strategy game and you have to put your card and calculate the number and everything. However, you created a link with a different, you know, element. You created like your heptagram, you created your strategy. So you understand like why this one is friend of this one is working with this one. When we're gonna start the MMO, everything will change, because we're gonna be able to create a story based, on the universe, and then people will say, okay, exactly like that. When you have like a story very strong behind, you can do it, but it will take time, and you can't, build it, in 1 year or like 6 months or whatever. We start this project 2.5 years ago, for 1.5 years exactly. So we start like to create the universe, to found like the talents, to hire the best people. We spent 8 months to create the GDD, the game design document, with a spec, to build, the roadmap until 2026, 2027 today. So we scale everything. In beginning of 2000, end of 2021, beginning of 2022, we start the production of the game. So if you take, it's like 15 months. 15 months to a TCG, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If you take, for example, Marvel Snap made by Paintball, they spent 4 years, and 2 years was just for the polish. So it's we're not talking the same language. However, when you know that, you have to deliver something. So I'm not here, to make fake promise to the people and say, yes, in 5 years we'll create you a game. Come on, start now, make him evolve, make us, being part of the story, take the advice, and the feeling of the player, see like when the player, are happy or not, and like how it's evolving, since, we prepare like a very large plan. And then, we can be able, to do it bam, 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 step by step. But every time when you understand, you will have always this IP on the middle, and this story, like gonna be the foundation of the across the ages.
And also, so the card game basically is a way of, so you have gathered your community. They are obviously playing daily on something that they can share really fast and quickly, and so interact, and I don't know, on the Discord say, hey, who wants to play, whatever, etc. So basically your community has something to eat, so that you can also deliver step by step, and the bigger picture, small step by small step. So I don't know if obviously it was meant or what, but delivering a video game that is actually that you can consume a lot and spend a lot of time daily, and just retention, so that you gain time to deliver the bigger picture, rather than saying, okay, wait 2 years, and in 2 years or 3 years, during 3 years you won't have anything to eat, but after that you will have a big game. So
and you're absolutely right, and the people, here from the beginning seen the difference, and less it will be a success on the beginning, much more I will be happy on the future. And you say, what did you say? I say, this is exactly how the game explode, I don't need that the game will be a need from the beginning. From the beginning, I explain to the people that I want to do it step by step. I'm not hurry, I can have the time to do it. When the first collection will disappear, you will not be able to get it anymore. If you take Magic the Gathering, you take a Black Lotus, first edition, like very good condition, it's around 250K, an alpha edition to 1.2 million. Why? You have only 1,200 copy. However, if you take across the ages, we have some cards with like some S card for 10 copy, 20 copy, 30 copy, some exclusive card like for very few amount of copy. What's going to happen, in the future? The price will be completely insane, because it's going to be linked, to the number of people.
Exactly like Pokemon, the Pokemon cards you mentioned. That's exactly it.
Pokemon 96, Dracofeu, all the Charizard, all these kind of cards, they explode in the future. And this is the power of the IP. The difference between us and the other projects, so we have the time to do it. We have the time to build this. And like, I don't have any kind of pressure about my investor or like any kind of
runway or whatever. So you're not here to sell NFTs to get the runway to keep on delivering.
Because what's gonna happen tomorrow, imagine it's like, oh wow, we not generate revenue, and this is not the case. We'll generate revenue. But if it wasn't the case, we are able with our company, to provide assistance, because we are already, we generate revenue, and a lot of revenue with our own company. So we will be always close, since Cross the Ages is like our biggest project. And it's why, you know, I dedicated like all my time, and like I stopped my life, you know, since 2 years and a half now, just for this project. And for me, it's not a project anymore. It's like this whole ecosystem. And you will see in a few months, this gonna be like the hugest saga. Why? Because the story is very deep, and it's not a story that you say, okay, it's cool. It's not cool. It's really awesome.
And it seems infinite.
Yes, the potential is completely insane, you know, and this is why, you know, the writers, they sign, you know, for the 10 years. They say, you know what, all of them, you know, they made like an interview, like people didn't see yet, and they explain, you know, what is their feeling 2 years after starting Cross the Ages. They say that they never made any project like that, and like they provide them happiness because it's talking about geopolitics, about like the war, about the human condition, about like all the kind of topic we have today, and they found a solution of many problems that we have in our world. And it's very interesting, you know, to dig, because since, you know, you start to read, you say, oh, this is not bad, this is cool. This is honestly, this is possible, you know, because like you have like a world with fantasy and science fiction, like a dystopia, and you think, okay, what is the link, you know, with our world? More you dig, more you read, more you understand the parallel between what we're living today here and what people are living in their own planet, you know. So it's like a very parallel with a very great and very deep message, you know, behind it. And yeah, since, you know, you're working on a thing that you believe, and like you really believe, you know, the on the how can I say that, you know, on the value, you know, of what they're gonna bring, you know, for the future and for the next generation. Yeah, I'm totally in, you know. I was sold from the first day. You know, when I start like to read, say, come on, guy, this is good. And like they're putting deeper and deeper. So yeah, the story is like
That's awesome. Maybe you can share the video we mentioned before launching,
yeah,
because
sure.
it's if we can take a few questions
Sure.
after
So
that,
let me,
maybe you can show a little bit
absolutely.
about the universe itself. Normally, you should be able to share a screen. Yeah, perfect.
So here we
Perfect.
go. Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, perfectly.
Fantastic.
There's no sound on our side, but
Tell you that you're gonna have some gameplay today. Let's see some gameplay.
awesome. Thank you. I will obviously put all the information, links related in the replay in the video.
People, you know, play to the game, they will see like the huge difference of what you've seen and what is now, you know, and like it's still evolving. Like every week, it's pretty surprising, because like we'll say, oh yeah, but the game, the FX is completely different now and still better. So what we're looking is like just improving, and yeah, just building.
That's awesome. So let me know, guys, in the audience, if you have any questions. That's the moment for Sami, for the project, or whatever. Just can unmute yourself normally, and you'll be able to ask your question. If there are any.
Come on, it's free, guys. You can ask a question.
If not, too bad. People just want to play, I believe. All right.
You know, if you ask them, like, you can give a gift, you know, if you ask a question, you can have a gift, you know, kind of thing like that. Okay, no gift, nothing.
People don't want gifts.
Okay, okay, they don't want gift, they shame, okay, no problem.
I'll take it gladly. No, Sami, I guess we'll wrap it up. Maybe on the next steps, what's you know, on the weeks, months coming, should we keep track on some elements? What should you know, the people should look out for?
So in 2 weeks, like less than 2 weeks, in 10 days, we're going to San Francisco for the GDC, starting, you know, to work in our US community. Today, you know, we are mainly based, you know, 65% is based in Europe, 25% is in Asia. We have like Korea and Japan. We don't have like Philippines and like all these countries yet. India, not yet also, like very few player of India. We have some player in Australia and a few part like in US and few part in North Africa. To being able to be global, you know, we're gonna have like to move, and we're gonna move in different countries. So San Francisco, New York, Tokyo, Korea, Singapore, and going that for all the year. We're preparing, you know, a version, you know, of the MMO to show it to the community. But since, you know, we're not hurry, and like we don't want to do as we do, you know, for the TCG and like pushing, we're developing, you know, a team, because like everything is made in internal. And we're gonna able, you know, to show soon something for the community, to show them like what we've done, what we achieved, and then, you know, it's gonna be easy for us, you know, to give a date and to create the link, since all our problematic, you know, and technologic was solved, and now, you know, we can, you know, bridge, you know, the different parts between blockchain on gaming. For example, on the gaming part, you know, on mobile, the game is crashing. And the crash, you know, is due, you know, to a new system that we never used before, linked to the blockchain, and linked, you know, to the effect that we're putting on it, and we're solving it, you know, step by step. But this is new, you know, this is like a new problematic that we never seen before. It's not about like incompetence or something that, and you understand quickly why, you know, the other game didn't release any kind of game on mobile. When I believe that 95% of the gaming is on mobile, where everyone, you know, want to play on the phone, because like it's very simple. So yeah, when you figure out that, it's pretty cool. About the roadmap, we're gonna continue, and we're gonna start like the end of the book will be soon for the Tom 2. We're gonna start the Tom 3 this year also, so this is pretty nice. We expect, you know, to still onboard more and more people, doing more and more EMA, doing more and more partnership, and like doing, you know, step by step. As I explained, you know, we have the time, you know, to continue to develop, since we know we have the support of all the investor, and like no one is pushing us. We have also the support of our community, and pretty happy to have that. Yeah, the MMO so will be released for us, what we believe, end of 2023, beginning of 2024. So the mobile will be 1 year after that. And then, you know, we still continue to building and to create it, like the whole ecosystem. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you very much, Sami. Really appreciated our talk. Everything will be obviously on the Metacircle website, on the resources part. Guys, if you have any questions or whatever, you can hit them up to me or Sami, and yeah, thanks a lot, and appreciate it.
It was a real pleasure. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Super happy, you know, to share that with you, and hoping that we're gonna be able to share it with the maximum of people. Yeah. Thank you very much. Really.
About that. Thank you very much, everyone, and yeah, we'll wrap it up.